Sergio Perez, who has been doing well at Red Bull Racing, is now facing a big problem. Even though he's had a great season, his future with the team is unclear. His contract ends this year, and talks about keeping him longer are not going well. Christian Horner, the boss of Red Bull, isn't saying much about what will happen next for Perez. So let's dive into this video today to know more about what's going on with Perez and Red Bull. Checo Pérez started the 2023 racing season with impressive performances, winning 2 of the first 4 races in Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan. By the 5th round, he had scored 85 points compared to his teammate Max Verstappen's 100, although this score is slightly lower than the previous season's score of 105, 119 at the same stage. It's still close. The real challenge for Checo will come in the next 4 or 5 Grand Prix races. Red Bull expects him to consistently finish on the podium, especially if something goes wrong with Verstappen, the world champion. However, despite his strong start last year with 2 wins and 2 additional podiums in the first 5 rounds, Checo managed only 5 more podiums throughout the remaining 16 races. This inconsistency was a problem for him. This season, Checo is showing improvement. He is more consistent and stays closer to Verstappen's performance than before. Yet his future with the team remains highly uncertain. With that, Checo's contract with Red Bull is ending, and negotiations for an extension are proving to be difficult. Although Checo has mentioned in the media that more information will be available soon, nothing has been confirmed yet. To add to the uncertainty, Red Bull has already turned down a contract proposal from Perez's camp, as confirmed by Dr. Helmut Marko. While Red Bull easily won the Constructors' Championship last season, as other Formula One teams start catching up to the world champions, Red Bull must have both drivers scoring high points, including Max Verstappen. Last season, the 2 Red Bull drivers scored significantly different points. This led to intense discussions about whether the cars made in Milton Keynes were specifically tailored to Verstappen's driving style. Christian Horner and his team strongly disagreed with this idea. However, the significant points gap between the drivers seemed to suggest otherwise. Amidst this, Perez demands a long contract from Marko. With the challenges he faces, Sergio Perez might be starting to see the advantages of staying with Red Bull, even if it means accepting a secondary role to Max Verstappen. His goal is to secure a contract for as long as possible with the top team, even if he isn't the lead driver. However, Perez and Helmut Marko, Red Bull's motorsport consultant, still have different views on the terms of a new contract. Marko disclosed to Motorsport NL he initially wanted a 3-year contract. Unfortunately for Perez, Red Bull is not willing to offer this duration. Despite this, Marko is open to further discussions. "We will find a solution," he stated, willing to negotiate. Marko also clarified that their inability to finalize the contract isn't related to any regulations. "We are not in a position to finalize everything yet, but that has nothing to do with the regulations. He knows that he has to perform," he explained, defining that Perez's future with the team depends on his performance on the track. He recently announced that, with different views, the team boss appears to be in no hurry with a contract extension for Perez and is keeping the Mexican on a string. Horner also gives conflicting messages in the media, and at the press conference in China, he even made a bit of fun of Perez's contract situation. Horner is making fun of Perez's contract situation. In Shanghai, when asked about Sergio Perez's improved performance this season, Christian Horner humorously suggested, "Probably because he doesn't have a contract," indicating that the lack of job security might motivate Perez to perform better. Earlier in the race weekend, Horner had defended Perez against what he perceived as insufficient media appreciation for the driver, accusing the press of undermining Perez's achievements. However, when questioned about deciding on Perez's future with the team, Horner stated, "I'm afraid not. We don't have to make a final choice about our driver lineup until much later in the year." Despite praising his performance, this response shows Horner's non-committal stance on Perez's contract situation. Horner's comments were somewhat contradictory. At one point, he expressed satisfaction with Perez's performance, saying he was very happy. Yet he also mentioned that there was no rush to extend his contract. "Sergio would undoubtedly like to make an announcement tomorrow, but we as a team are not exactly in a hurry," Horner commented. He later reiterated that the team was content with the current driver lineup, emphasizing, "We are in a happy position where many drivers would obviously like to drive for our team, but we are happy with the combination we have." Despite these affirmations, Horner added pressure by stating the need for Perez to maintain consistency throughout the season. "We want to ensure that the level of consistency that Checo has started with this season is maintained, and we will weigh up the options in due course," he explained. Is Perez being strung along? Christian Horner, the Red Bull team boss, is cautiously managing Sergio Perez's situation, displaying mixed signals about his future with the team. While Horner openly claims to be very happy with Perez, he also hints at uncertainties for the 2025 driver lineup, stating, "As I said, at the moment, we are very happy with the lineup that we have, so there's no rush to announce the full 2025 lineup." Sky Sports journalist Ted Kravitz suggests that Red Bull is playing a strategic game with Perez, leaving the driver unsure of his standing within the team. In Ted's notebook, Kravitz noted, "You may have heard Christian Horner in conversation with Simon Lazenby after qualifying, accusing the media of bashing Sergio Perez, but that is the same Horner who, in the press conference when asked about Checo's performance improvements, said, probably because his contract has not yet been extended." Kravitz also mentioned that despite Perez's likely desire for a secure future, Horner is not in any hurry to provide that security. Sergio may want a contract for the future quickly, but Christian will not give him that either. Why does Red Bull wait so long with Perez? Considering the situation, Red Bull's hesitation to renew Sergio Perez's contract is influenced by multiple strategic factors. Firstly, the team is closely observing Perez's own performance levels. They want to ensure he can sustain his current form longer before committing long-term. Secondly, Red Bull is evaluating other potential candidates within its own racing family. They are assessing drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda to see if either might be a fit for a seat in the main team. This involves analyzing their performances and potential to step up to the more demanding expectations of the primary Red Bull team. Thirdly, Red Bull is also monitoring external opportunities, particularly with Carlos Sainz Jr. With Sainz expected to leave Ferrari after this season, Red Bull is considering whether he could be a valuable addition to its 2025 lineup. Sainz's prior experience with Red Bull and his proven skills in Formula One makes him an intriguing option for the team as they plan for the future. Now let's analyze Sergio Perez's achievements in China. Sergio Perez recently expressed optimism about his Formula One future during an interview on ESPN. He confidently stated, "I know what I want. I think it will be a matter of a few weeks until I know my future," indicating that a decision about his career path is imminent. Perez, who is currently Max Verstappen's teammate, emphasized that he is looking for more than just a short-term commitment. He explained, "I think it makes a lot of sense that my next contract is for at least 2 years because the rules are changing a lot for 2026. Perez believes a longer contract would be beneficial due to the significant rule changes and the extensive development expected in the upcoming year. His recent performances have caught the attention of Red Bull's management. Helmut Marko commented on Perez's race in China, noting, "Sergio was unlucky with the safety car. He did very well. Without the safety car, he would have finished second." These performances have solidified his standing within the team, as Perez currently ranks second in the Formula One drivers' standings, just behind Verstappen, with 85 points after 5 races. Does Verstappen play a role in Perez's future? Finally, Sergio Perez's future at Red Bull largely hinges on developments concerning his teammate, Max Verstappen. Despite having a long-term contract with the Milton Keynes-based team, Verstappen faces an uncertain future due to internal tensions and concerns about the team's engine for 2026. Red Bull reportedly lags in its engine development with unimpressive initial results. This uncertainty means Perez might need to wait a bit longer to secure his position, although he likely won't be short of options elsewhere. Given the number of seats still open on the grid, several teams might be interested if he becomes available. For now, Perez's best strategy is to continue delivering outstanding performances on the track. So what do you think of Red Bull rejecting Perez's contact? comment below, and subscribe for more.